Let's begin by telling you that the federal government of Nigeria has unveiled a lineup of events to celebrate this year's Democracy Day. Details were announced in a notice issued by Karim Hakim Adeoye on behalf of the Director of Information and Public Relations and the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The festivities will kick off on Tuesday, that's June 11th, with a symposium at the State House Conference Center, Presidential Villa, Abuja, starting at 9 a.m. Later that evening, a youth conference will be held at the Ladi Kwali Hall, Abuja, Continental Hotel, beginning at 6 p.m. On Wednesday, June 12th, the celebration will feature a grand parade at Eagle Square, Abuja, commencing at 8 a.m. The day will conclude with a dinner at the State House Banquet Hall, Presidential Villa, Abuja, at 6 p.m. The notice highlighted that only accredited villa correspondents will be allowed to cover the event at the Presidential Villa. Away from that, the parish priest of St. Thomas Catholic Church, Zaman Dabo community in Zango Kataf local government area of Kaduna State, Reverend Father Gabriel Uka has been kidnapped by bandits. He was said to have been abducted by the bandits in the early hours of Sunday. A statement by the Vicar General of the Kafanchan Catholic Diocese, Reverend Father Emmanuel Kaza, solicited prayers for the immediate and safe release of the abducted priest. The Reverend Father condemned the act of kidnappings for ransom of innocent and defenseless citizens of the communities and called on the government to hone its security intelligence as the country approaches the celebration of Salah. Let's also tell you that troops and special forces of Operation World Punch conducted special fighting patrol in the Kashia-Kujuru axis of Kaduna State, have neutralized 5 bandits in Dantaru general area of Kujuru local government area of the state. This was disclosed in a statement issued on Sunday by the State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, about the troops' operations to clear the Maro-Enugu axis spanning Kachia and Kajuru local government areas. According to Aruwan, the troops engaged the bandits at Dantaru community, and after a sharp exchange of gunfire, 5 of the criminals were neutralized. The troops also recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 locally fabricated submachine gun, 9 AK-47 magazines, 250 rounds of 7.67 mm ammunition, and also 2 motorcycles, 2 handheld radio sets from the bandits. Staying on security matters, a wave of terror struck the farming communities in Niger State, forcing many to flee their homes. In the Basa community, 20 residents were brutally killed by bandits, sparking fear and mass dissertation. Now, Senator Sani Musa, representing Niger East Central District, disclosed this with grim details following the horrific beheading of 10 youths and the murder of 10 others in Basa, located in Shororo local government area. The victims were reportedly killed for resisting the bandits' demand to join their ranks. In a related development, the senator said the bandits attacked Kuchi community, killing 7 security agents and abducting around 150 persons just 3 weeks ago. As of now, Kuchi remains a ghost town, its inhabitants having fleeing terror. These brutal attacks comes at a crucial time as residents were preparing for the farming season, their primary source of living. Now, the recent surge in violence has cast a dark shadow over this year's agricultural prospects in many of the state's communities. Now, to discuss this, I'm joined by security analyst Chidi Omeje. Thank you for your time, Chidi. Now, in your assessment, what are the primary challenges facing local and national security forces in effectively combating these bandit groups?
Thank you for having me. Look, you see, we've always said this, that dealing with the symptoms we're seeing, which is the things you have not mentioned, will not cut it. We have to really, work on the foundational issues behind the security, the recurrent insecurity. Just one at a point where somebody was going to think that there will be some respite. You begin to see all this manner of information coming in. So it does appear to me that we have not really been able to rein in the situation. But I think the first step for going, addressing your question is the need for much more collaboration, much more support from people. This is no longer the job of security people alone. It has to be the all of society approach that people have talked about. Security is everybody's business, and we all have to play one role or the other to ensure that we, remain in the situation. I'm really appalled that not a single respite is seen in that part of the country. It's incredible, but I believe also that this government should be thinking about deploying more of a political will to help the security forces to deal with some of the situations. So to me, it's something that a concerted effort can help.
All right. Now, let's also talk about the immediate and long-term measures that can be implemented to improve security and prevent further attacks, particularly in vulnerable communities within the state. Even though we understand that to a very large extent, the security forces have been able to make commendable progress in this fight.
Measure is just for us to probably increase on the ground, do more of intelligence, deploy more of our intelligence assets, and then, of course, to be able to complement the effort of the military. Then, in turn, look, this is where good governance comes in, because the thing that actually give this
Okay, I think we're having a bit of difficulty in terms of connectivity with our guest, but thank you so much for your contribution on the news. But okay, I understand it's back now. Thank you for staying on. We lost you for a moment. You might want to, of course, recap on some of the things you've said.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, in the immediate, we need to see how we can equip our police more, how to empower them to be able to complement the effort of the military, because the military alone can't really, do the work. And that's what the immediate. So we need to have a robust collaboration between and among the military, security, intelligence, and response agencies to work together, to be able to defeat this thing. But in the long run, we have to look towards our governance, paradigm. Bad governance is the foundation for all this. When poverty and hunger, when people are poor and hungry, it's very difficult to preach to them to stay away from crime. So there's a correlation between bad governance, corruption, ineptitude, and of course poverty, and then anger and crime. So the spike in criminality is just a natural outcome of bad governance. So we need to think along this line. It's not just dealing with the symptoms. The symptoms is what we're seeing now, but we're supposed to deal with the root causes. And the root cause is actually bad governance.
But so I'm sorry to interject a bit.
Bad governance. It's becoming a pandemic.
I'm sorry to interject a bit, Chidi. You talk, you're making reference to socio-economic issues as being one of the root causes, if not the root cause of many of these insecurity situations that we're experiencing. But again, some will tell you that that might actually not be the entire reason, because for many of these people that are a part of it, there is the role of ideology too, and for some of them, maybe greed. They've made so much money from it over time, and they feel that, that's the only venture I can get into to make as much or to maintain a certain lifestyle that I'm used to. So would you still want to say that, the economy, talking about poverty, unemployment and all of that, and also leadership, is a pivotal factor as against also some people's personal interest?
Look, nothing excuses crime, as a matter of fact. I agree with you. There's no reason for anybody to become able to distinguish between terrorism you know, ideological-based terrorism and banditry, purely, economic plunderers to make money out of criminality. That's different from terrorism that is ideologically based, that are driven by the ideology, by religious, zealotry. So, but banditry, the issue we have right now in mostly in the south, the northwest and the north central, and the areas we mentioned today are purely banditry. So it's not purely ideological, it's not just ideological, it's just economic plunderers. So I am saying that, like I said, really nothing excuses criminality, but we are talking about some of the issues that give rise to people, finding crime attractive. There is hunger in the land. There's no respite. Bad governance is ruining our life. So you see people who are in charge of our common patrimony, behaving the way they want. People in governance positions behaving the way they want, and the entire masses of the people are suffering. So these are the things that give rise to many people finding crime attractive. That's what I'm trying to say. But nothing excuses crime, like I also mentioned. So you cannot discountenance the fact that bad governance, there's a nexus between
All right, Chidi.
bad governance.
All right, Chidi. Thank you so much for your contribution on the news. And of course, we deeply appreciate it. Well, that's Chidi, the security analyst on the news. But let's move on to other stories. Now, no fewer than 6 suspected members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and its affiliate Eastern Security Network had been killed following a raid in Abia State. This development followed clearance and raid operations by troops of Operation Udoka on an IPOB ESN camp in Igboro Forest in Arochukwu local government area of the state on Saturday. The Nigerian army disclosed that 3 out of those killed during the raid were among the perpetrators of the attack on its troops in the Aba area of the state. The soldiers were also reported to have recovered weapons, including 3 locally fabricated rocket-propelled grenade launchers, 2 locally fabricated artillery guns with tripod and bombs. We'll be having, of course, our correspondent join us to discuss this particular incident further. But we'll go on a quick break now. When we return, we have more stories. Stay with us. And of course, to give us an update on the story we read out just before the news, we are joined by News Central's correspondent, Chinwe Ugele. Chinwe, thank you for joining me. Now, can you bring us up to speed as regards this issue that has been on the news in Abia State?
Thank you very much. Basically, since that incident of May 30th happened in the state, the Army headquarters in Abuja have been in charge of operations trying to locate and chase after the people who they feel were responsible for the attack. So whatever happened in Arochukwu like 24 hours ago was carried out by on the order of the headquarters, the Army headquarters in Abuja. So earlier on, I tried to contact the PRO of the formation here in Abia State, but he was not responding. So, ever since this incident happened, the state, we have the 144 Brigade Command here in Abia State, in Ohofia precisely, and they've not actually been speaking about it. Everything said about that incident and after that incident has come from Abuja. So the operation was, like you heard, by Udoka, Operation Udoka, which is about peace. And then, but the command here, the battalion here in Abia State is yet to make any statement about, and I doubt if they would. But then it is basically in response to the killing of the 5 soldiers on the 30th of May in Aba by people that are yet to be identified. Though the military, the army has said that the people who were responsible were members of IPOB, because on that day was stay at home, which was being enforced by the same group.
I mean, you said that the people that carried it out, or the people that the army did raid, or those linked to that incident, and people that have not been yet identified, even though the army said they're members of the IPOB and the ESN. But I would just like to stay on that. Are there any form of evidence that the army is sort of linking to say that those that might have carried that out are linked to these groups?
One that I know of, because as far as I'm concerned, that attack was done and the people who perpetrated the act left unidentified. Nobody saw them. Not that people didn't, people saw them, but I doubt if anybody was able to identify them. If the military has, I think the least they could have done at this point is to inform the public, like, look at the people, look at the names of those who feel or we saw were responsible for the attack, and then go ahead to publish them. And now that the army says it has neutralized about 6 of them, one of them supposedly involved in the attack, you're also to let us know, because, we all understand that the operations of the military are not the same with those of the police or any paramilitary organization. But then I think the onus is still on them to let the public know, so that when you lay claim that the people who carried out the attack were members of IPOB, people could relate if the person who you've actually neutralized is one of the people they know or they can identify as a member of that group. So for now, nothing much. People, personally, I do not know. I haven't heard them say anything about the identity of the people they suspect, other than the members of IPOB.
Okay. Now, how would you say the impact of this attack has had on the, will I call it, consciousness and the morale of citizens of the state, particularly as regards security? Do people feel safe on the streets?
The insecurity right now, since after the attack, stems from the arrests that are being made presently by the army. Because right now, especially in Aba and the Obingwa local government area, all the area, the surrounding communities and towns of where the incident happened, there have been series of arrests of people, young people, they could come into a compound and pick up everybody there, then take them to their station and begin to interrogate and sieve. At the end of the day, if the governor had to even visit the formations that are within the area to also plead with them not to hurt innocent people in the course of trying to find those that are guilty. So what is happening is that people, especially the young ones, are living in fear, absolute fear. Now, parents are also afraid. Some have even had to make arrangements for their children to leave the city, for now, until everything calms down, because the situation is not really very nice. It looks calm, but there's fear amongst the people. The people are living in fear because you do not know what you do, and then you aggravate or you step on the toes of one army person. So everybody is living in fear in Aba. And then this issue of within the cities now, the checkpoints that they have, they've returned to the format of commercial vehicles stopping people, passengers alighting, and then crossing over to the other side for the driver to come meet them. So the whole situation is stressful right now down here. I'm not sure it's even only in Abia State, as it were. It has crossed over to other neighboring states.
Thank you so much for the update, Chinwe, and stay safe.
Thank you.
All right. Now, the FCT Police Command, in collaboration with special forces from the Guards Brigade, the DSS and hunters, successfully stormed bandits' hideout as Commissioner of Police intensified coordinated operations in suspected bandits' routes and camps. In a statement issued on Sunday by the FCT Police Public Relations Officer, Josephine Ade, she noted that acting on credible intelligence, the operation targeted kidnappers' camps in Gidan Dogo and Kweti Forest, located in Kaduna State near the FCT border on May 7th. The operation led to the arrest of 4 suspects who confessed to being members of a notorious bandit syndicate known as My 1 Million, responsible for numerous kidnappings and other serious crimes in the FCT and surrounding areas. Now, during this coordinated raid, a shootout ensued between the bandits and security operatives, resulting in the bandits fleeing and the successful rescue of kidnapped victims. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says its operatives have again intercepted another consignment of 175,000 bottles of opioid imported from India. This is coming barely a week after seizing a shipment of 175,000 bottles of codeine-based syrup at the Port Harcourt Ports Complex in Onne, Rivers State. The 2 seizures, according to a statement by the NDLEA spokesperson, followed earlier intelligence which made the agency request that the shipment be stepped down for 100% examination. He said the latest seizure of 875 cartons of codeine contained 175,000 bottles and weighing 26.250 kilograms was made during a joint examination by the NDLEA, Customs Service, and other security agencies. The container from India was en route C2C bound terminal in Enugu, according to the agency. The federal government of Nigeria may be in a collision course with governors and the private sector for agreeing to pay a minimum wage higher than 60,000 naira. Now, Nigerian governors and the organized private sector are against paying as high as 60,000 naira, as they insist that any figure above 57,000 naira may not be sustainable. Now, however, everyday Nigerians are of a different view, as News Central's Bettina Mwedi tells us more.
A major argument by the governors, according to sources, is that the state will be left with nothing for developmental projects if they accept to pay a minimum wage above 57,000 naira, as they would have to pay a large chunk of their resources as wages to workers.
I'm going to speak from the perspective of a salary earner, and I'm in Nigeria, so I can see the economy very clearly that it is not something to write home about. Currently, 60K, I can't even say 60K is almost nothing at this point. It's not even, it's like 100K is the new 10K.
I bet me government, made everybody improve the money, made the money increase, like 200,000. But if say in dollar, now they won't pay me, they pay in dollar.
First of all, I have to commend the chairman or the president of the NLC. He has done a very good job for all Nigerians workers. Secondly, the proposal of 250,000 naira from the NLC, it's a good one. And I stand to support it, and every meaningful Nigerian stands to support that.
However, the negotiation for a new minimum wage is far from over, as the organized labor, as well as the federal government, continue to make offers and counter-offers. Last Tuesday, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, agreed to pause the strike for negotiations, giving the federal government 1 week to negotiate, after which the strike would continue if their demands are not met.
Continuing the strike is actually not going to be a good solution, because even though they continue and they still don't do the strike, the government will still take their decision. That's what I feel. So the strike, but still, if they still do the strike, it's still going to hurt, because the cost of things now is so expensive in the market.
I don't think they should accept the 62,000 because the country is hard. A lot has been happening. We run the business, like we're employing in a company. We are not getting anything like increasing our salary, and the chief fare is kind of crazy, you know.
The government had initially proposed 48,000 naira and 54,000 naira last week, which were also rejected by the organized labor. It remains to be seen how much further the NLC are willing to push and how much more compromise the government is willing to make. In Lagos, for News Central, Bettina Nwili.
In the meantime, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has taken legal action against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. According to a statement signed on Sunday by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, SERAP said the outcome of the case could significantly impact the transparency and accountability mechanisms in Nigeria's financial management. The lawsuit demands the publication of detailed spending reports and agreements related to loans acquired by the administration of former Presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari. Filed last Friday at the Federal High Court in Lagos, the suit aims to compel the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and the Debt Management Office to disclose how these loans, totaling billions of dollars, were utilized. Let's also tell you that a group of traders in Plateau State have called on the state government to make the availability of conducive shopping structures for their daily transaction top priority. This call came when News Central's crew visited Terminus, the Jos main market, to see the level of compliance by traders, whom government had relocated from the roads to a temporary place for their transactions. According to the government, this development is for their safety, as well as the beautification of the city center, especially within the Jos Bokoro metropolis. News Central's Chizoba Anyonwe tells us more.
This is the popular Jos main market terminus, which got burnt many years ago. Before the inferno, terminus was a huge revenue earner, thereby improving the economy of Plateau State. But now, this is what is left of it. A few weeks ago, Government Executive Order 3 caught up with some traders who moved their businesses to the roadside and under makeshift structures as against the warnings of government since last September. Those structures have been demolished and the traders ordered to temporarily relocate here, just beside the burnt market. This development still doesn't sit well with these traders who are back on the roads again.
We're not that happy because when they find waiting children to go eat. And this thing can't happen like this. We're not going to fight and we're not going to call anybody.
We see all of us here, they are only give us 5 shops. And the shop is not with us. They are not even show us the place yet. That's why.
They will say they can't go inside. Some is even when crossing, they will see what they wanted to buy. So they will stay and buy. That's why we still there on the road.
Despite the dangers associated with this kind of roadside transactions, this is what the affected traders have to say.
Please, we are calling the government in order to look into it. They provide space for us, but the space that they provide, the head, as in the people that they are in head of us, are not giving us the space. It's only when you know someone before they will give you space here, or you paid money.
They never give us the place you go vacate. So now I make everybody jam on the road now. Yes. So if they give us the place, we go stay. We're not going to stay here again.
This condition now, we spend more than 20 years here. We are selling market, and government said that we should park inside. We are about to park inside. They are there selling the place to others while they are not here.
Behind me now is where government has temporarily relocated these traders for their safety and also for the beautification of the city center. However, they still prefer, some of them actually still prefer to be on the roadside, saying that that is where their customers will easily locate them for their businesses. But how this pans out with the plans of government is what everybody is waiting patiently to see. From the Jos main market, for News Central, Chizoba Anyonwe.
The Yobe State Independent Electoral Commission has declared that the All Progressives Congress won all the 17 chairmanship seats and 178 councillor positions in the just concluded local government elections. Announcing the winners after a collation of all results, The chairman of the commission, Maman Mohammed, explained that other political parties participated but could not win at any level. Now, the state electoral umpire is expected to present certificates of return to the winners, while their swearing in by the governor, Mai Mala Buni, would be at a later date. Governor Buni, while voting at his hometown, said his concept when he came on board in 2019 as governor was to give local government areas autonomy, saying he is not opposing the federal government's plan to grant autonomy for local government areas. In a country like Nigeria, where opportunities are scarce, how many get to women? Questions like this have had or led to transformative and intensified actions to grant women access to education and representation in the political spheres. News Central's Chidima Onair shares more in this report.
For decades, Nigerian women have faced challenges in achieving equal access to education and political participation. The lack of education has often limited their career opportunities and hindered their ability to advocate for themselves and their communities. However, the growing movement of feminism is pushing for change.
Feminism just refers to equality of gender, giving gender equal access to opportunities. That's just a simple form. Giving equal opportunities, so whereby both gender, all genders, or whichever way you would like to classify it as, have equal opportunities to social opportunities, economic opportunities, political opportunities. It starts from even school, educating the female children that it's not all about, fine, we're encouraging children, female children now to be engineers and things like that. But politics, we need to encourage female children to, look at politics as future career prospect and things like that.
Another important untapped area is that of legislation and policy making. As a country, it is vital to note that empowering women through education and political representation is fundamental to unlocking a brighter future for Nigerian women.
For us to have gender caucuses or women caucuses or female caucuses in the National Assembly, we have to first of all be elected as women. If women are not elected, how do you speak of caucuses? So it's very important for us to start talking about how women will be well represented by first of all start to advocate, campaign and canvass.
By having women visibly participating in politics and having more women representation, you could see that there are concrete examples across the world where parliaments that have more women have changed the country.
In light of these pressing issues, government initiatives and civil society programs are working to bridge the educational and legislative gaps by investing in girls' education and encouraging women to run for office, which creates a better Nigeria where all citizens have equal opportunity to thrive.
Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation has launched the nation's audience management system for the broadcast media and advertising industry. The minister says that the system will reposition the advertising subsector for accelerated growth, attracting immense financial returns and helping advertisers get value for money. News Central's Amadine Uyi tells us more.
It was the launch of Nigeria's audience measurement system for the broadcast industry. In attendance were media and advertising professionals and their counterparts from the creative industry.
This milestone represents a significant leap forward in the country's media landscape and is a testament to our commitment to innovation, adaptability, and the enhancement of the media industry in general. The introduction of this sophisticated audience measurement system is a groundbreaking achievement that aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision for a more prosperous and technologically advanced Nigeria.
They say Nigeria's advertising industry has remained stunted in view of a lack of data, which has continuously shortchanged Nigeria's broadcast sector when compared to other African countries.
It is disheartening to note that in spite of having more than 3 times the eyeballs in South Africa, Nigeria's television advertising market revenue is low compared to that of South Africa and Kenya, as we are the third in the continent.
If you are talking in terms of GDP, Nigeria has the highest GDP. In terms of population, Nigeria is over 200 million. Even the number of internet users in Nigeria, they are more than population of some other countries. Now, if you now look at advertising investment, we are not among the top 4 or top 5. So why?
It is a pity that India started 200 years ago. Nigeria is starting today. And that is the sad aspect of this whole situation.
Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation says that the measurement system will present a win-win situation for the country and the sector.
This system will serve as a cornerstone for reliable data by providing accurate and comprehensive insight into media consumption patterns across various demographies. This system we are launching today holds immense importance in ensuring that our broadcasting endeavors are not only impactful, but also reflective of the diverse preferences and needs of our audience.
It would address how preferences are made on advertising, where the revenue should go to, media consumption patterns, all of that. It will also address unethical practices that had hitherto plagued the industry.
What we, the practitioners in the industry, are scrambling for is sub 500 million annually. We believe that by the end of 10 years, with return on investment being proven scientifically, we would grow this market to sub 10 billion in the next 10 years. That's our plan.
The minister says that the audience measurement system will reposition the industry for accelerated growth. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
Welcome back. The death toll from the recent attack by suspected Islamist rebels in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has tragically risen to 41. The update was provided by Congolese Army spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Mark Ozinski, who disclosed that the attack carried out on Friday was the work of the Allied Democratic Forces, a militant group now based in Eastern Congo. The ADF, which has pledged allegiance to the Islamic State, frequently launched attacks, further destabilizing an already volatile region populated by numerous militant groups. Originally from neighboring Uganda, the ADF is also suspected of being behind another assault earlier this week that claimed at least 16 lives. This surge in violence highlights the urgent need for enhanced security measures and greater support for the affected communities in Eastern Congo. Let's also tell you that Somalia's government says 5 of its soldiers died in a battle with Al-Shabaab insurgents on Saturday. The government says nearly 50 Al-Shabaab fighters were killed in the battle about 350 kilometers north of the capital, Mogadishu. Government troops and supporting militia forces got word of an attack planned by the Al-Shabaab and set an ambush, according to a statement. The said airstrikes were also carried out against the Al-Shabaab forces. Al-Shabaab has been waging a deadly insurgency against the fragile central government in Mogadishu for more than 16 years. Now, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi was sworn in on Sunday for a third term after worse than expected election results left him reliant on coalition partners to govern. Modi, flanked by officials from his Hindu nationalist parties and leaders of the coalition members, vowed in a ceremony marking his formal assumption of power to bear true allegiance to the Constitution of India. Modi's Hindu nationalist BJP ruled outright for the past decade, but failed to repeat its previous 2 landslide wins this time around, defying analyst expectation and exit polls. It was instead forced into quick-fire talks with National Democratic Alliance, a 15-member coalition, to gather the parliamentary numbers needed to govern. Former employees of the Central Bank of Nigeria are protesting their abrupt dismissal, accusing the bank's management of mistreatment and injustice. The ex-workers claim they were not paid their entitlements prior to being sacked, which they argue is a violation of the bank's human resource policies. In a statement issued Sunday from Jos, the Plateau State capital, Paul Dekete, North Central Coordinator of the Conference of Autochthonous Ethnic Communities Development Association, Youth Wing, called for the immediate reinstatement of the dismissed workers. Dekete emphasized that the mass sacking violated the bank's HR policy, which requires board approval for executive terminations. The dismissals affected the entire Economic Intelligence Unit, a crucial team within the bank responsible for identifying and monitoring illegal financial activities in Nigeria. Dekete pointed out that losing these highly trained professionals is a significant setback to the bank's ability to combat money laundering and other illicit financial crimes. The draw of Wellington Jehere and Monday Christopher dominated the fourth edition of the Emmanuel Egbele Annual Scrabble Tournament, concluded at the Grand Ballroom of Eco Hotels and Suites in Lagos. Over 100 players competed in the Premier and Lightweight or Light divisions for a total prize pool of 4 million naira. Wellington, Africa's sole World Scrabble champion, clinched the Premier Division title with 17 wins and 1 loss, securing victory with 2 rounds to spare. Okemote Tega claimed the second spot based on accumulated points, despite trying with Cyril Ume Biye, who secured 12 wins and 6 losses to finish third. In the light division, Monday Christopher emerged as the champion with 14 wins and 4 losses, edging out Itua Sunday, who secured second position. Omije finished third with 13 wins and 5 losses. The event convener, Emmanuel Egbele, along with the Premier and Light Divisions champion, emphasized the tournament's significance, its evaluation or evolution over the 4 editions, and the high level of competition it offers to elite players.
The whole idea of Scrabble, just like every other maybe board game like chess, is a mind sport, like you said. And the level of awareness that we have today is not where we want it to be, because we know that sports like this, first and foremost, is all about, intellect, strategy, and it also helps, in even developing the mind.
Basically, I think one of the major things that can be done to improve Scrabble awareness out there is basically a better sponsorship of Scrabble events and Scrabble-related events.
I feel elated. All glory to God. It's been a struggle. Scrabble is like that. You win sometimes, you lose.
Francisca Odega, the Super Falcons winger, is elated after contributing to CSKA Moscow women's triumph in the Russian Women's Super Cup. The solitary goal was netted by Army midfielder Daria Yokoleva at the 81st minute, securing the red and blue team's historic victory in the Winline Russian Super Cup. Odega expressed her gratitude, saying, "What more can I say? Thank you, Jesus. We have secured 1 and 2 to go. I am proud of this team." The match unfolded at the Gazprom Arena at St. Petersburg, currently leading the Russian Championship Superliga with 30 points. CSKA stands as a dominant force. Otega's impact underscore a significance within the team and a role in their ongoing success. Let's also tell you that Czech Republic's midfielder Mikhail Sedelic has had to withdraw from Euro 2024 due to a leg injury sustained from a bike fall. Sedelic, who plays for Dutch club Twente and was part of the last Euros, recently captained their nation in a friendly victory over Malta. Manager Ivan Hesek expressed disappointment at losing the 25-year-old who boasts 24 international caps, describing it as a significant setback. A spokesperson for the Czech Republic confirmed Sedlic's injury, stating that he suffered a leg laceration in the incident. The Czech team kicks off their Euro campaign on June 18th against Portugal, following their match against Turkey and Georgia in Group F. And that's a wrap on the news at this time. But before we go, another look at some of our top stories. We told you that bandits have abducted a Catholic priest in Kaduna. We also told you that Sarah pursued government demands details of Obasanjo Buhari loans. And finally, we told you that DR Congo's rebel attack death toll has risen to 41. Don't forget to send in your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. You can also follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch us live across these platforms. That's DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Apple TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Dakbo at Digboye. Bye for now.